Hi guys, so I had the privilege of organising a brand spanking new kitchen and I loved every minute of it just as much as I loved that cooker. So at times it was a little bit overwhelming because you had many things, many items, and I was thinking, oh God, is this going to fit? But yes, it did. Like a jigsaw puzzle, I was able to work my magic. The client was overwhelmed, but I said to her, just leave me to it and I will make it work. This is where everything was held while the kitchen was being built. And here is me showing the client exactly how I made everything work. So I created a little drinks area. And as you can see, there's a blender there to create all those delicious cocktails. In the bottom cupboard on the top shelf, I housed all the Tupperware, the travel mugs, and also the kids' cups with straws. At the bottom, alcohol and soft drinks. In the top cupboard, at the mother's request, I was able to put all the medications. So that was all organised into all these containers. So it's easy use of bringing them down and putting them back up, and also out of the way of the children. And on the bottom shelf is where all the snacks and goodies are. And here's me demonstrating how I stacked all the crisps. So mum will also be able to see when she's running low so that she can do a replacement. And moving on, all this lovely space to work on. The cooker area, I always suggest maybe having something like a spoon rest, which I found luckily. And also I found a peculiar bowl, but I've used that to house the garlic, maybe some onions, and also the chopping board as well. And here's a little tip. If you haven't got a lot of storage and you've got lots of pans, you can actually store them in your oven. They will not burn. Why? Because they're made for the oven. And also another little tip is to get a utensils holder to use by the cooker. So anything used regular, it's just there at hand rather than fumbling around in the drawer, not being able to find anything. So moving on, this cupboard here, I put the spices once again near the cooker. And yes, very happy at my labelling, and the client was happy too. I did ask her to order these before I came along, and that's exactly what she did. So I was able to decant, which is all great. They got housed in a storage container too, so easy use to bring in and out. And also some Lazy Susans, because as you can see, it's more accessible to bring things down rather than things being stuck at the back of the cupboard and not being able to reach them. Here's me having a little fiddle, that's better. So in this cupboard is where all the dried food has been put. So that's literally cereals and noodles and rice, all in this cupboard, a little pantry. And the last cupboard, all the Pyrex. There's a microwave in the corner out of the way. I was able to organise the cutlery, as you can see, and the second drawer, all the knives and all the kitchen gadgets in there, lovely organised, and the bottom, the pots, so it's easy to bring them out. We found this very old school weighing scales, which I absolutely loved. Look at that, how gorgeous is that? But I've used it for decorative purposes. In this teeny tiny cupboard, I was able to put the foil and the cling film and some extra pot lids at the bottom. And by the sink, I like to keep things like strainers and bowls because that's where you're going to be using them, by the sink. And a few extra pots there. And look at that. Lovely, neat, organised, under sink storage. And moving on, the breakfast area, we have a Ninja here. We also have the toaster, kettle, tea, coffee, sugar, and in the cupboard is where all the mugs and all the everyday cups are used. And then also in this teeny tiny cupboard, I was able to put the coffee and hot chocolate and herbals. I also asked the client to purchase some under unit lighting, which adds another special little touch. And not that there was much food at the moment, but I started to organise the fridge. There you have it. And there's me happy that it was all over, and I will see you in the next video.